Honorable Speaker, he was there in the beginning, and he's still there. He was there when the Constitution was drafted, when it was promulgated, when its first parliament was inaugurated, and he's still there with its parliament. I don't want to say he's the Alpha and Omega of the Parliament of Ghana. I believe that with him we can never walk alone. Deputy Speaker present with us, my colleague, the minority leader and deputy leaders who are present here, chairman of committees and honorable colleagues, members of parliament, our distinguished guest from the Foreign and Commonwealth and Development Office, the World Bank, Clerk of Parliament, and guests from the various development partners who work with us and civil society groups, distinguished friends of the media fraternity, staff of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. I think all has been said, and if I'm going to read my speech, I'll virtually be repeating what those who spoke before me have said. I just want to draw attention to some critical constitutional provisions. Article 36(2) of our Constitution says that the state shall, in particular, take all necessary steps to establish a sound and healthy economy whose underlying principles shall include, and one of them in E is the recognition that the most secure democracy, and I want everybody to pay attention, the recognition that the most secure democracy is the one that assures the basic necessities of life for its people as a fundamental duty. If a democracy does not deliver the basic necessities of life to its people as a fundamental duty, that democracy, no matter how accountable, no matter how, what the rhetorics are, that democracy is not safe. So the delivery of basic necessities of life is the fundamental principle that should govern the work that we do, both in the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. As a parliament, our job is to oversee all the other agencies, all the other arms of government, to make sure that these basic necessities of life are actually delivered to our citizens, that they must live in dignity, they must have access to water, electricity, education, healthcare, housing, and be secure. Those are the basic necessities of life. How are we supposed to do this? The Right Honorable Speaker, after over 2 decades of practicing our democracy and using our standing orders and working through the institutional arrangements that we have, has reformed our committee systems to try as much as possible to make sure that we are effectively spread to cover every facet of the governance of this country. And so our rules provide us ample opportunities to deal with these matters. Article 103 Clause 3 of our Constitution says that committees of Parliament shall be charged with such functions, including the investigation and inquiry into the activities and administration of ministries and departments as Parliament may determine, and such investigation and inquiries may extend to proposals for legislation. Every MP knows this particular clause. We need to use the committee systems effectively to deliver on the basic necessities of life for our citizens. Right, Honorable Speaker, something funny that I think I should relate to you and to this gathering. This last recess, I received a lot of requests from our various committee leadership for a lot of international travels to participate in the usual events that parliaments participate in. One of them was the World Bank Spring meetings. So many requests to participate in the World Bank Spring meeting. They are very, very important platforms. They provide a lot of opportunity for learning, for exposure to best practices, and etc. And so they are very useful. But this is a new parliament, and the committees had just been set up. So when committee chairman brought me their proposals to participate in these events, I unfortunately rejected every proposal. And I told the committee leaders that the first thing I want to see is that you have gone around the country and you have a clear understanding of what is happening in your sector, so that next year when you go to the World Bank Spring meetings, you know what to tell them. As at now, I'm not sure if you go there, you will actually represent us, because I haven't seen you go around all your institutions. So go and bring me a proposal to go around the country and visit your sector and agencies and institutions. And that one I'll gladly approve for you. The same money that you are going to use to go for these international meetings, use it to visit all the institutions in this country. And everybody brought me a proposal, and we approved. And if you monitored the media, you will see that during the recess, almost every committee chairperson was visiting every agency under them, engaging them, trying to understand exactly what their agencies are doing, what the challenges are. I recall the health committee visited so many hospitals across the country, to the extent that some media houses were so impressed that they organized a forum for them. Let's clap for them. You know, the education committee visited so many schools across the country. They haven't finished. They will continue the visitations. And even as we resumed, many more committees are still visiting their agencies and institutions, engaging them, trying to understand exactly what it is that they are supposed to assist them to address, what bottlenecks they are confronted with, and how, as a parliament, we can work with them to address their challenges. The next stage, and we've had discussions with the Speaker, we've had discussions with the Clerk, we've even had discussions with the Center for Parliamentary Affairs, ASEPA. The next stage is that we want the committees to have public hearings. The culture of public hearings in this Parliament was spearheaded by the Public Accounts Committee, which is really a finance tool, financial accountability tool. And it's become very, very popular. It was joined by the Government Assurances Committee, which has also become very, very popular. But the substantive issues of healthcare, education delivery, housing delivery, roads infrastructure, and etc., energy, access to electricity, and all those things, are matters that are handled by very important committees like Health Committee, Education Committee, and etc. These committees have sometimes 20, 15, some of them have 30 institutions and agencies, directly under them. And they all present reports to Parliament. Every one of them presents an annual report to Parliament. So the next stage is that we want these substantive committees, not the finance committees, not public accounts and etc., that are dealing with accountability for the use of the money, but the ones responsible for actually delivering on the basic necessities of life. We want these committees to take the reports of all the agencies that operate under their supervision, and hold public hearings and hold the heads of those agencies accountable for the substantive delivery of these commodities: education, healthcare, housing, roads, electricity. Because I believe that if we start holding them accountable, the way that I see Public Accounts Committee holding the directors of finance of our various institutions accountable on television, I believe the Director General of Ghana Health Service, or the Director General of Ghana Education Service, or the Director General of Ports and Harbors, and all those other agencies under you will sit up and start delivering on their various responsibilities. Otherwise, every year, they will be on national television, and you will be quizzing them why performance is abysmal, and everybody in Ghana will see that performance in those agencies are actually abysmal. And I think that is how we can improve delivery of basic necessities of life to our citizens, and to make them really value the democracy that they have been queuing for years to vote for. So I thank the World Bank, I thank the British government for this investment, except to say that the focus is so much on financial accountability and financial governance and economic governance. I would want to see an equal, or at least reasonable allocation of the resource to the committees that also deliver on the various necessities of life. We're not asking for much. Some of the items that you capture as the deliverables, like the training programs, leadership, how to conduct inquiries, and etc., and also supporting the Right Honorable Speaker to have our own independent media house, television, because you see, sunlight is the best disinfectant. We don't have an army to compel people to do what we want. But the more we expose them on national television, I believe the more heads of agencies will sit up and perform their tasks as expected of them. And so we count on the Speaker's small budget to get GTV to cover public accounts. The bills that are brought to us sometimes not easy to manage. So if we got support to have our own television station, and we have a channel, and we are airing, and all the committees can be captured live in terms of the public hearings and their sittings, it will go a long way to ensure that we are able to hold institutions of governance accountable in this country. I think that people would like to perform so that in the ensuing years, when they appear before us, they will not be asked very embarrassing questions about their abysmal performance. On that note, let me thank our development partners for this initiative. We definitely will support it. One thing that the Speaker has also done, which I think I should mention, is by way of building the capacity of the various committees. This country has research institutes for almost every sector. We have a Building and Roads Research Institute, we have a Cocoa Research Institute, we have a Food Research Institute, we have a research institute into everything, crops, everything that you can imagine, there's a research institute. And I know this because I used to be Minister for Science. So the CSIR has research institutes. The other agencies also have research institutes. Now, the Speaker has put in place an arrangement where every research institute has a corresponding committee in Parliament that they work up to. Because the research institutes have all the information. They have the data, they have the most recent research findings in relation to your sector. If the roads committee is going out to inspect road projects, the Building and Roads Research Institute will be able to tell you if a road is being constructed here, these should be the technologies that should be used. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of resources. If you're going to go and inspect the road, these are the mechanisms for ensuring that you are able to actually tell whether the job is being done well or not. If a budget allocation is being made for a certain sector, your scientists will be able to tell you, and your research institute will be able to tell you that the resource is going to either be wasted or more efficiently used because of the technology that is going to be used in implementing such a program. Speaker will be launching this very soon. There's a scheduled workshop for the research institutes and the chairman of the various committees to train them, to prepare them, so that we can begin to work closely with our research institutes as our thinking, cap as a committee, so that we are backed with very strong scientific and technological research as we go out into the field. So let me, on this occasion, also commend the Speaker for such innovation and the efforts that he is putting into building Parliament as a very strong institution of governance. I thank you very much, and I wish you well.